Yo, what's good YouTube? This is Jake from TNJ, and welcome back to the New Orleans Kings franchise. We are one win away from clinching the NLDS and heading to the ALCS, where we could face either the Indians or the White Sox. This should be good. Now, going into this matchup, Game 4, I'm kind of leery about putting Forrest Whitley in right away, but we're gonna do it. I had an opportunity to put Alex Wood in there to possibly close out this game, but I would rather save Wood for a win or go home Game 5 if necessary, and he will face Jordan Montgomery, who isn't the best starter on their squad. I would rather have Alex Wood facing against their number one rather than Forrest Whitley or even Tyler Glasnow facing off against theirs. So let's get into the action right away. You can see Benintendi already hitting one to opposite field. Clint Frazier could not field it. And look at this, starting out this game with the leadoff triple. Not looking good for Forrest Whitley right away. Up comes Jose Iglesias in the 2-hole. He just hits a grounder. That's good enough to score a run. It's already 1-0. Like I said, if we want to win this series, we have to out-hit them. We've been doing it through the first 3 games. But up with 2 outs, here's Aaron Judge, and he will just hit a little chopper to David Bodie at third. Easy put out. And now we move on to the bottom of the first inning. Here is David Bodie at the plate. He hits a liner, and that's just a soft liner to second base. That's an easy out. As you can just see, the Indians and the White Sox are tied 2-2 in the AL. The Rockies and Reds on the NL side are 3-1. It looks like the Reds took that one, so they move on to the NLDS already. And now let's hop back to this game. Here is Puig at the plate. He goes deep to left center, still in the first inning. That one reaches the wall. And now we have a man on second base with Jesus Aguilar, who hit around 290 in the regular season up to the plate, with a chance to drive Puig in from second base. Puig was cold the first few games. So on a 1-1 count, low in the zone, Jesus Aguilar goes down and gets it. And that one will sneak through the infield. 1-1 here as Benintendi was playing deep out in the outfield. And now 1-1, man on first base, Jake Cave up to the plate. He was hot last game. Let's see if he continues it. And he will strike out and swing at a slider on the outside part of the plate. As we move on to the top of the second inning, here is Gleyber Torres at the plate. He goes to opposite field. That's a single here with 1 out for the Yankees in the second inning. And now with a man on first base, up comes Gary Sanchez to the plate. Man, I am afraid to pitch to this guy. He can hit a home run at any time, but he swings at an awful pitch out of the zone. We actually missed. We were actually really lucky on that one. So that brings up Giancarlo Stanton in the 8-hole. How convenient. And that pitch was right on the corner. So guys on first and second. Luke Voigt, he hits one up the middle, and that one sneaks through. And a runner from second will score. And it is 2-1 here in the second inning. They still have guys on first and second, and Benintendi at the plate. He hits one to the right side, but that is an easy ground ball. But they add on another run here in the second, and it's now a 2-1 lead here for the Yanks. So we move on to the bottom half of this inning. Here is Corey Lee. He hits a little blooper to shallow right center field, and it actually skips all the way to the wall. And that is going to be good enough for a triple. Look at Corey Lee with 75 speed. He gets all the way to third. And now we have a man on third base with 1 out with the opportunity to tie this game up. And up comes Mr. Clutch himself, Scooter Gennett. He hits a missile up the middle. That one's to Benintendi. And we will tag Corey Lee, who has good speed. And he will slide in safe. 2-2 here. And it's going to be a back-and-forth series all series long. That's how it's been so far. So a 2-2 game. Here's Clint Frazier still in the second inning, and he goes up the middle. He gets the start versus lefties. Raimel Tapia gets the start versus righties, and he does continue this inning as that brings up Billy Hamilton 0 for 1 to start this game, and he will pop out. And that will be a 2-2 game going into the third inning. This one seems like it's going to be another back-and-forth matchup. That brings up Aaron Judge in the third with 2 outs. He goes to opposite field. There have been so many hits in this series that have been away from the shift. Everybody seems to just aim away from their shift. And that is a double here for Judge with 2 outs here in the third inning. That brings up Andujar, who gets one on the outside part of the plate and goes deep to opposite field. And it sneaks over the wall and right. It's a home run, 416 feet. And the Yankees take the 4-2 lead. They grab it, we tie it up. They grab it again, we tie it up. But now they have the 2-run lead. Up comes Gleyber Torres. He keeps this inning going with a walk. He watches a fastball on the inside part of the plate. And we go out and check on Forrest Whitley. And I made the decision now to pull him out of this game in the 3rd inning. I just can't risk him giving up another home run. So I bring in Ryan Stanek, a guy that I really, really trust. He didn't have a great first outing, but here he faces Gary Sanchez, and he swings and misses. And there we go. We get out of that inning. Only 2 runs of damage done. We've been giving up a lot of runs lately. As now that brings up David Bote in the 3rd inning. He's going to start out with a line shot to left field. And now we got a man on first base here. No outs. Puig already has a double in this game. And he gets one over the middle and hits it hard up the middle. And that is going to be a single here for Puig. Guys on first and second. No outs here to start this 3rd inning. Is it going to be another back and forth inning just like the first 2? Up comes Jesus Aguilar. Ground ball to short. It's a tailor-made double play as long as the throws are there, and they are. And now we have a man on third base here with 2 outs. We might even not get any runs in this inning after getting 2 hits to start out the 3rd. That brings up Jake Cave. He gets a hanger over the middle, and he drives it deep. That one has the carry, and it will make it over the wall and right. It's a home run. Jake Cave has been amazing since acquiring him. He hit .290 in the regular season, 2 home runs last game, and here he is with another one. It's 4-4. We just keep tying this game up. So here comes Marcus Semien at the plate here in the 6th hole, and he just will hit a pop-up to right field. Another tie game. 3 straight innings this has happened. As we move on to the bottom of the 4th inning, up comes Mr. Clutch, Scooter Gennett, hitting .667 here in the ALDS. He goes to opposite field, away from the shift again. And this one makes it to the wall. Look at this. The left fielder cannot field it cleanly. And Scooter with 25 speed makes it all the way to third base. That's a triple here with 1 out. He's got to score. Just make contact. That brings up Clint Frazier. Fly ball to center field. It's in shallow center. And Benintendi's going to run that down and throw it. I'm not going to risk it. That was a perfect throw anyway. So we keep Scooter at third as up comes Billy Hamilton, who hits one up the middle with 2 outs. And it gets down. Benintendi misjudges that one a little bit. Look at Billy Hamilton. He's on his horse, headed to second. And he will slide in safe there with 84 speed. It's a 5-4 game. That brings up David Bote. Led the regular season in average. Here he hits one to right center. And that one will drop in there. And another run. 6-4 here in the 4th inning. Both teams are putting up runs early. And David Bote comes through again. Man, I loved the acquisition that when we got him in season 1, it was well worth it. He is at 87 overall. He's headed towards being probably the best player on our roster. So here is Puig up to the plate with 2 outs. And it's just going to be a fly ball. Benintendi's there. And it's a 6-4 lead now. Let's see if we can hold it as we move on to the middle innings of this game. Up in the 6th, Stanek still in the game. Actually, 33 pitches as he faces Gary Sanchez. And that's what I'm talking about. Home run. Every single game, it seems like that's actually Gleyber Torres. But every single game we face Sanchez and Torres, at least one of them hits a home run. As that brings up Giancarlo Stanton here with a man on first base. And at least we get the double play here. And Stanek settles down. He's at 43 pitches. This is a long outing for him usually. He only goes about 1 or 2 innings at the most. But here he does get out of this inning after Luke Voit swings and misses on that. As we move on to the bottom of the 6th, here's Clint Frazier at the plate. And he's going to start it out with a walk with Cy Snead now on the mound for the Yankees. Still a 1-run game. That brings up Billy Hamilton. He watches a pitch in the dirt, and it looks like a wild pitch. And Clint Frazier moves on to second. So a man in scoring position here, 2-1 count. Billy Hamilton, he hits one hard up the middle. He has been hitting pretty good in this ALDS as well. And we round third pretty hard, but we decide to go back. Why even risk it with no outs in the inning? So that brings up David Bote to the plate. He hits one hard down the right field line. That one does reach the wall. Aaron Judge has a strong arm in right field. We're not going to risk it. We stay at third with Billy, and it's now a 7-5 lead here. Guys on second and third with no outs here in the sixth, right in the middle of our lineup. That brings up Puig. He swings and misses at a curveball. That pitch was pretty nasty, as it brings up Aguilar, 2 for 3 in this game, and he gets fooled too. That's a swing and miss. 2 strikeouts here for Cy Sneed. He might get out of this inning with guys on second and third with no outs, as that brings up Jake Cave. Already went deep in this game, and he checks swings on the outside pitch, and he is not going to go around. Bases loaded. Marcus Semien here at the plate in the 6th hole. 1 for 3 in this game with an opportunity to bust this game wide open. He swings and misses. Cy Sneed gets out of this inning, and at least David Bodie hits one down the right field line and drives in 1 run. As we move on to the later parts of this game, in the 8th inning, we bring in Chris Davinsky as he faces this tough Yankees lineup. He didn't have the best of outings in his first matchup. Let's see if he does it this time. Here's a fly ball to left field. That's Andujar, who already went deep in this one. That's the first out of the inning, as Gary Sanchez comes out with 2 outs, and he is looking at that one on the inside part of the plate, as it brings up Stanton in the 8th hole. He has not been hitting too well in this series, as he hits a chopper to Semien, and he throws on the run. It's an out. We are now 3 outs away from an ALCS bid, as we decide to go to our bullpen and bring in Rowan Wick. Now, the reason why I bring in Rowan Wick, because in the first matchup he faced them, pitched 3 innings, he barely gave up any hits. So I think that this is an advantage over the Yankees. I don't think they can touch Rowan Wick. The first batter, nonetheless, comes up and ropes one to left field, and now they have a man on first base here. No outs. Up comes Benintendi, 1 for 4 in this game. Wick, curveball, and that's a line shot right to Billy Hamilton. 1 out. We are now 2 outs away from going to the next round. Up comes Jose Iglesias. Ground ball to third. This could do it. Third to second, second to first. And Scooter overthrows Jesus Aguilar. How do you make that mistake? That was an easy ground ball, an easy double play. Take your time, throw the ball. You had him by over 2 steps. And now man on second base with Urshela at the plate. 1-1 count. It's a fly ball in the infield, and we do get out of this game with the victory. And on to the ALCS. The Kings have shocked the MLB. We have turned this around from a 50-win team to now in the ALCS, one of the last 4 teams standing. And the Yankees, a 96-win team in the regular season, get shocked. Wow. 7-5 here in that game, and it was just a great offensive output in that series. David Bodie did well. I mean, Jesus Aguilar did well, but Jake Cave came out of nowhere. But I gotta say, the MVP of that series was Scooter Gennett. He was unstoppable. Nobody could get him out. He hit over 667 in that series. So now we move on to the ALCS, and we find out we will face the Chicago White Sox as they defeated the Cleveland Indians in a 5-game set. On the other side, the Reds actually make it. They win their series 3-1, and I believe that was the Rockies that made it. I'm not really sure. So let's just look at our matchup here, as now we face the White Sox. They have a ton of young talent. Jose Altuve is now with the White Sox. He signed with them. And just looking at the rest of the guys, they have Nicholas Castellanos, Nomar Mazara, Jose Abreu, Zach Collins, Luis Robert. I mean, they have a ton of guys on their roster that will be hard to get out. I think the difference between this team and the Yankees, especially on offense, is that they have guys who can score runs, and it doesn't necessarily have to be off of the long ball. It can be small ball, it can be doubles to the gap, and that's one thing I think the Yankees did not do well versus us. I think it was pretty much singles and home runs. That's how they scored their runs. We're not going to get away with that versus the White Sox. They were a 100-win team in the regular season. This is a very good team, and their top 3 in their rotation, Rodon, Keuchel. I mean, those are 2 capable lefties. We're not used to facing so many lefties. We'll have to do it here in this series as they have home field advantage for this 7-game set. So here we are in the ALCS. Who's it going to be? The White Sox or the Kings, who punched their bid to the World Series? We are pretty much an underdog in this game by far. Just like in the Yankees series, we've done it before. We can do it again. Hit subscribe, hit that like button, stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I've been working hard for a minute. The ones who don't deserve it seem to be the ones that get it. The ones who speak the truth never get the recognition, but the ones that act foolish seem to get all the attention. It don't matter though, yeah, and it don't even matter though, nope.